Hello, my name is Mr. Polk and welcome to my kitchen. Today we'd like to take a look at making a homemade cream of chicken soup. Cream of chicken soup is something you usually get in a condensed can and it's used in so many different recipes, but you can make one from scratch. And the main reason I want to show you that is the base of it is a veloute. The base of it is a sauce made from a blonde roux, chicken stock, and then we'll turn it into a veloute supreme by adding the heavy cream and a couple other seasonings, and next thing you know, you're going to have yourself a wonderful homemade cream of chicken soup that you'd be able to put into your different recipes rather than always having to use the one from the can. So to start our veloute, we have our chicken stock starting to come to a simmer. And since we're using a box chicken stock and we're not using a chicken stock we made from scratch, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of bouillon. And this is a different brand, so this one's the Better Than bouillon. And it's just your concentrated chicken stock flavor. And what that's going to do is take your commercially made stock and give it a little boost of flavor as if it was going to be something that you made from scratch. We're going to give that a whisk. So it's just going to add an intensity. Chicken base, is something we use in a lot of different recipes, or chicken bouillon. So we're going to bring that to a boil. Then in the meantime, we need to make our roux. Now this time, we got the butter going, the clarified butter, and we're going to put in our flour all at once. And then we're going to start to stir it. And this time we want to make a blonde roux. Okay? So the blonde roux is really going to help give us the color to this cream of chicken soup. So we're going to get all the lumps out and just start stirring and cooking here. And what's going to happen is you're going to see that we're going to take it until it starts to get blonde colored. It's going to get that like straw colored. You start to almost get the smell of popcorn. And that flavor is also, it's not only the blonde roux isn't just for the color. The blonde roux is going to give you that flavor. Okay. So we're going through and cooking this up. We're going to try to get it to that blonde color. Just keep going here. So now that we can see that the roux is starting to get that blonde color, it's a light brown. You can also, it starts to get that popcorn smell, that toasted smell. That's really what you want here. And once you get that wonderful toasted smell and this blonde color, then we're going to let it cool just a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and put it into our stock that is just about coming to a boil. So I've got a really nice blonde color on here, so I'm going to turn off the heat. So we've got our chicken stock simmering, so we're going to go ahead and put in our roux after it's cooled a little bit. I'll put that beautiful blonde roux in there, and then turn down our heat a little bit and just give it a really nice stir. Now remember, just like with the bechamel, you can either have a hot roux or cold liquid, or a hot liquid and a cooler roux. That's what I prefer. And the reason I prefer that is because what happens is it just blends in really nice, and it gets to be nice and creamy. Okay, so now that we're whisking that around, what we're going to do is let it come up to a simmer, because remember with the flour roux, it definitely needs to come to a boil in order to do its job. And then now we're going to add in the cup of cream, and that's going to add the creaminess to our veloute, which would make it a veloute supreme. In this case, it's going to make it a wonderful cream of chicken soup. And you can see that gorgeous color now, and that comes from the combination of the roux, okay, and the stock and everything. And then we're going to season it, and we're going to do about a half teaspoon of white pepper, and we're going to do half teaspoon of onion powder, half teaspoon of granulated garlic. And you can adjust these flavors to what you see fit, but this is kind of a base. And you can see you have a wonderful smooth cream of chicken soup here. Great color. And all we're waiting for here is just to kind of come up to a boil. And you want to let it simmer for just a little bit. Okay, so as it simmers, it's also going to thicken. And then one of the things that you always want to check is when making something like this, once you give it a really nice stir, and we see those first couple blubs of it coming to a boil again, and then letting it simmer, is that we always want to do check for nappe, where you go behind it with a spoon, and it should coat the back of a wooden spoon beautifully, just like this one. So we'll go ahead and let that simmer a while. So here you can see our finished product. We've got a wonderful soup here. It's super creamy. It's got a wonderful thickness to it there. I mean, it coats the back of the spoon. It's got a gorgeous color and flavor. And you could turn this into a cream of chicken soup if you wanted to, add some shredded chicken to it, some vegetables, maybe even chunks of potato, and just have a wonderful soup. Or this is something that you could add to other recipes, pasta recipes, things like that. Just any of the recipes, the bakes that you would use, the canned cream of chicken soup, you can use this. And the idea is that I wanted to show you the difference between the bechamel and the veloute. So the bechamel that we made for the mac and cheese was a white roux. This was a blonde roux, and that toasted, almost a nutty flavor, but not nuts. It's just that nutty toasted flavor comes out of the roux and comes into the cream of chicken soup and just makes for a wonderful product. Okay, so it shows how you can make it from scratch, or if you didn't have the canned soup and you needed some, you could pull it together with a couple basic ingredients. So thank you for cooking with me today, and I can't wait to cook with you real soon right here in Mr. Polk's kitchen.